Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with the Pig Site, and today we're here with Dr. Ryan Dilger. He is a professor at the Department of Animal Sciences at the University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana, and we're also joined by Dr. Brooke Smith. She is a veterinary and nutrition lead at Cargill Animal Nutrition. Thank you both for being with me. I really appreciate your time today. And Ryan and Brooke and I are in St. Paul, Minnesota, and we are at the Leman Swine Conference today. And you both just presented today. And so we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to start with you, Dr. Dilger, and have you get us started. Give us a brief overview of the topic you presented here at the annual Leman Swine Conference.
Sure. So we were really talking today about bioactives in soy and how they have immunomodulatory effects, so the ability to regulate how the immune system is working in a pig that's experiencing a respiratory disease.
Very good. And what are the specific bioactive compounds we should be aware of, and what's their potential impact on the immune system?
Yeah, so these are naturally occurring products called secondary metabolites, and really we're talking about isoflavones and saponins as well. And both of these are very minor fractions that we would find, so not nearly at the level of protein or other carbohydrates found there. But they have profound effects when it comes to how inflammation is going to occur in an animal that is sick with, again, respiratory disease. They reduce that inflammation. They also help to keep the integrity of the intestine so that you don't get secondary infections as well. So between isoflavones and saponins, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, and also antioxidative stress.
Very good. You talked a lot about isoflavones today and saponins, and you did talk a little bit about just how they work in the system, and also kind of keeping things like leaky gut at bay, right?
Absolutely, and that's especially on the saponin side. So
Right.
those are working within the lumen of the intestine to be able to make sure that we don't have any breaks between different cells, which can let bacteria in and cause some other conditions as well.
Very good. And from your perspective, where does the field stand today in terms of soy bioactives, and what future research directions do you see as important?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we're recognizing now what these secondary metabolites can do. These are naturally occurring. They're already in soybean meal that's being included in the diet. But we're starting to recognize how we can use them to pair that with therapeutic agents, in that we can have a complementary piece between nutrition and health as part of this. So being able to use those as a way to get out in front, be proactive with nutrition when we know pigs are going to have a respiratory illness.
Very good. And the second part of this is future research directions. I mean, where do you see where do you see research going?
So first, we need to understand the isolated effects of each of these individuals. Once we know that, we can potentially start to use, from a breeding and genetics perspective, with the soybean plant itself, to enrich these products. We can also think about this from a processing perspective, about enriching these both isoflavones and saponins in the final product, making them more available to the animal. So improving the quality of that soy product that we can have, not only for providing amino acids as a protein source, but also in this way with isoflavones and saponins as kind of these secondary metabolites.
Very good. And there was also a question today about sows. A lot of the research that you have done, and we'll get to that in just a minute, has been more so on growing pigs. But there was a question today about potential research for sows.
Yeah, most of our research to date has focused on that young pig, and Brooke's work all the way through market. But there's not much known about how this would affect sows. And there's a lot of interest there, because if we can help to program that immune system for that young pig, or otherwise have some benefits, that could have some profound effects down the road. So a lot of interest there, just not a lot of research just yet.
Yeah. Opportunities for more, right?
That's right.
Very good. Very good. Well, thanks so much, Dr. Dilger. And we're going to switch gears and visit with you, Dr. Smith. Now that we better understand the soybean bioactive compounds are and their role in mitigating respiratory disease, tell us about the research you shared today. There was a lot.
There was a lot. The research that I presented today was really a cornerstone study of my thesis research I did while I was in Ryan Dilger's lab at University of Illinois. And the focus of that research was trying to isolate more those isoflavone effects on the clinical response to PRRS-challenged in that immediate post-weaning period, and how does it impact that pig's performance from wean to market.
Very good. And what were the results of the study related to growth and mortality specifically?
So from a growth perspective, if we compare to previous research, we didn't see any concrete growth performance effects. We did see some transient changes in growth performance parameters, and we did see a little bit of reduction in the live body weight in the isoflavone treatment group at the end of the live animal phase, but it wasn't maintained at harvest. So minimal impacts on growth, a lot more seen in the clinical response. The big ones to note is there were some changes in the dynamics of viral clearance as evidenced by oral fluids and the neutralizing antibody response. But probably the most profound difference that we saw was on mortality. And when you look at the wean to market period, the group that received the supplemental isoflavones had almost 50% less mortality across that period compared to our positive control.
Right. That's significant.
It is, yes.
That's a big deal, right? Very good. And so that's a significant impact on PRRS virus-related mortality. Can you give us an example of how that translates to economics?
Right. I mean, so I think we can all appreciate that a pig that makes it to market is worth more than one that doesn't. But with the work of one of my colleagues, we were able to take the live market weights from that study and model them on 3 relevant packer grids on a regional basis. And when we did that, what we can see is that there was a proportional increase in projected revenue. When you market more pigs, it results in more revenue, even despite differences in categorization of weight penalty classes. So in that scenario, survivability is king. You know, these pigs that are challenged may never be as full value as those that are not, but getting more pigs out the door and to market is better for our producers.
Yeah, and Dr. Boyd emphasized that, I think, as well, that it's that pounds going to market, right?
Yeah, it's pounds out the door as much as it is the animal itself. That's how they make money.
Right. Very good. And this is a question for both of you, and we'll start with Dr. Smith. What would you say is the key takeaway for veterinarians and producers when considering nutritional solutions as SRD management tools?
I think when we look at the entire picture, nutrition is a part of it, just like everything else is. But I think it's one of those that continues to be a little underutilized or underemphasized. I think part of it is understanding that these bioactives are in ingredients that we use commonly. We can leverage them, and we can do so in an informed way based on how we know processing impacts it. And the best case scenario is to have all of the players that will influence the success of your production at the same table having a conversation. The more your vet knows and the more your nutritionist knows about the challenges that these pigs are facing, the more responsive and adaptive they can be in developing a holistic plan to improve health.
Yeah, I've heard before when the vet and the nutritionist come together, that's when magic happens, right? That's something that really getting everybody on the same page, in other words, right?
Absolutely.
So very good. Thanks a lot, Dr. Smith. And the same question coming back to you, Dr. Dilger. What are the key takeaways from your perspective?
Yeah, I just want to emphasize what Brooke already said, that communication is going to be key. And using nutrition as a proactive way, some insurance is part of that. It's actually a cheap solution that we can have as part of getting soy into that pig's diet, but not thinking of soy as necessarily an anti-nutritional piece, something that we need to worry about, but looking at other ways that we can use that to help, again, modulate that immune response, give that pig a leg up, if you will, from the very beginning, when they're most vulnerable. They don't have their full immune system developed at that point. So anything we can do nutritionally is kind of insurance in that diet.
Very good. So it sounds like communication, but also education and making sure people know that this is a factor, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Very good. Excellent. Well, thank you both for your time. I really appreciate it. Really quick for our watchers out there, our readers, more information is available at can.ussoy.org. And this program has been brought to you by US Soy. It's fully funded by the Soy Checkoff. Thanks so much. This is Sarah Mikesell with the Pig Site.